This
Our
conference will
webinar this
now be
morning.
recorded.
Welcome to the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance, the Manufacturer Agent Council, to our presentation this morning. Our presentation is going to be how to maximize your profits using manufacturers agents and outsourcing field sales with independent manufacturers agents. My name is Dan Bakotic. I'm with Mid-America Sales. I am the current chairman of the Manufacturing Agent Council. I'll be joined this morning with Michael Morton, who's the vice chairman of the Manufacturers Agent Council from Atlantic Sales Connection. And next slide, Lorna. And one more slide. So some of the things that we're going to discuss this morning on the webinar this morning is going to be questions that, considerations that you should give to go-to-market strategy. What is a manufacturer representative? Who uses manufacturer reps? The code of ethics that manufacturing agents abide by. Why is the trend going towards outside field sales? What a manufacturer representative is not. Some myths and misconceptions. We're talking about the economics as well as leading indicators of skilled rep firms. And lastly, but most importantly, is what sales reps need from you to help you grow your business. Next slide, Lorna, please. Okay, so some important questions for you to ask yourself. What is the cost for a sales force? Okay, do I hire a company salesperson or do a manufacturer sales rep? The employee time versus the manufacturer sales rep time. Can you press the buttons, Lorna? Okay. How do I keep control of pricing, products, my company? And so those are questions you're going to ask yourself. And then we hope to answer those questions for you. So what is a manufacturer agent? So we are an independent professional provider of field sales, marketing services to manufacturers and suppliers. Manufacturer agents typically handle a portfolio of related manufacturers, but not competitive lines. We do offer complementary product lines. We don't use competitive lines. We work under contract agreements in a defined territory on an exclusive basis. And our income is tied directly to productivity. Okay, basically meaning that if we don't perform, well, we don't earn a fee. And so no sales, no commissions. If we do perform, most likely, most manufacturers are happy to pay a fee for that. Next slide. The traits of today's manufacturers reps. The professional agencies out there, professional salespeople, these are their lifelong careers. Multi-talented, are very in tune with the sales process as well as the sales structure. Technology current, and this is very important in today's world, especially at the younger generations. A lot of manufacturer agents now will be using CRMs, marketing automation. They're very mobile, using mobile apps, and they come in all shapes and sizes. So you could find a small rep firm that's very defined and focused on what they do, to firms that are much larger, handling more facets of your marketing and your sales. So it all depends on exactly what you're looking for as a manufacturer. You generally could find an independent agent that will fit your needs. Next slide. Industry companies using the services of manufacturer agents today. So this slide here is just to kind of give you an overview of manufacturers that are using independent agents. There's many companies you'll find on here, from small to very large companies. Next slide. Code of ethics. At the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance, our organization, all of our reps, we have a code of ethics that we abide by. We can go into more details of what the code of ethics are at a later date, But generally speaking, you won't find us representing your product and representing your competitor's product at the same time. And so therefore, we're focused on your product line. Next slide. Okay. The roots of trends to the outsourced field sales reps. Okay. Most importantly, we're performance-based compensation. This is a necessary key if you're wanting to kick off a new product. You may want to bring independent reps on. Maybe you have an older product that's just needs some it's stale. It needs some new excitement, new exposure to it. That's definitely something that we can use to kick off. We also are a practical approach to controlling your business expense because we are a fixed cost of goods. If we don't sell nothing, there's no cost to you. Manufacturing agents are diversified into multiple markets and specialize in the distribution channels. You could find independent reps that work the traditional two-step distribution channels. You can find manufacturer reps that work on a dealer direct basis. So you could find a rep for whatever your needs are and whatever your approach to the market may be. Another trend is exploring new opportunities with a minimal investment. So if you have a new program that you want into opportunity, you're going into a new channel or something that you may not be involved in, bringing a manufacturer rep to give you that exposure may be just what you want to do with a low cost. Low overhead. Probably the most thing that's you'll find with manufacturer reps is we're a fixed cost of goods. There's no salary, and we're going to go into the economics of this a little bit more in detail as we go through here. But we are a fixed cost of goods, and it's definitely a benefit to the manufacturer. Next slide. We are more than a source. We are a resource, okay, and a very valuable resource for manufacturers. The personnel and the entrepreneurial spirit that we have, reps are very competitive. They're very goal-orientated. The relationships we have in the marketplace are extremely important because we've been in the markets for a very long time, in our regions for a very long time. So we have stable, long-lasting relationships with both distribution and with the dealer-based, builder-based service companies. We increase product exposure when presenting a sales call. One of the things that we'll find over time is that we may be talking about product A, and they'll ask us about product B and ask us, how's that doing? I know you presented that to me last month. Are you getting any traction? Are you getting any interest? Many contacts, okay, are needed for someone to take on a new product. And the fact that an independent rep is constantly in that distributor, talking to them, constantly in a dealer, because we may not be representing your product, but we're representing another product, but it also allows us to have that conversation where if we're focused on one single product, we wouldn't have that ability to do that. Relationships. It's key, as much as the world is changing, our industry is still a relationship-based industry. We know that when we make a phone call to somebody, they're going to answer our phone because we have that relationship with them. Also, we'll get a return email if we're presenting a new product to them and make that appointment so that we can get the presentation. The reduced sales force turnover, okay? We're very entrenched in what we do, and generally speaking, manufacturer rep firms, we don't have a high turnover. Training is only required on the product. You don't have to train us on sales. We've already got that figured out. What we need to know is your product, to become the expert and the product specialist on your product so that we can become your product ambassador and your brand ambassador. We're closer to the customer. That allows us to give you forecasting. Okay, it allows us to give you the insights in the marketplace that you may not be able to get. Again, it goes back to the relationships and being able to have those conversations with our accounts. a window for national feedback. As a manufacturer rep, we generally communicate with other reps across the country. We're also can allow you with a handful of companies. You can, service the entire country as a sales organization for a sales force for you, and you can get that feedback across the country from each region. We are specialists in our regions, and nobody knows our regions better than we do. Economy of shared costs. That goes back to the fixed cost of goods. You're sharing the cost with other manufacturers on what it's going to cost for us to do it. Solutions orientated. We've been around for a while. You're going to find that if your product going to market and we're not necessarily struggling with it, we're going to find a solution to figure it out. We may have other successes with other product lines that we can share, or our experiences over the years. We can give you new ideas on how to take a product and overcome that obstacle and that challenge so that we can gain that sale and get that new customer on board. But that's basically the perspective that we'll bring to you. Okay. Bringing value to manufacturers and customers. Portfolio synergies. Again, the complementary products to address different needs. This is very important for us. It helps us in our successes. Again, when we're talking about product A and then all of a sudden product B is a complementary to that, it's a natural tie-in. And we try to align our portfolios with complementary products so that it gets the natural segue going into it. We partner relationship with the customers, and you will always be there. This is a very important piece of the puzzle because, again, the relationships is what our industry is still important with. Greater speed of market penetration. Oftentimes, a manufacturer sales rep that's representing only one product line, they'll make a phone call, shoot an email, do a cold call, and that account won't necessarily respond to them. They'll get shut out. Okay. With our relationships with those manufacturers, we can have those conversations, and they'll listen to us. We often hear when we go in, "What's new? Did you get anything new? What's the new trend going out there? What's happening with this?" And so, being in tune with the marketplace and our distributors and dealers asking us those questions, it's a great segue to launch a new product. The basic economics of the sales force before sales costs. Again, the fixed cost of goods. As we go through the slides here, we're going to come up with something. We'll go a little bit more detailed into the costs. That's fine. Okay. Let's talk about what manufacturer reps are not. Okay. We are not an additional channel. We often get looped into they're another cost. It's a liability in addition to what we're already doing. And that's not the case by any means. We are an extension of your company. We do represent you. We are your brand ambassador. We're your salesperson. Rather than receiving a paycheck from you, we're a 1099 employee, essentially. So we're a subcontractor. But we work for you. We're not the middleman, so we're not taking title, ownership, or any additional markup costs on the product. We're not a distributor. We're very different than distributors. The distributors are going to get a markup and a profit margin to sell your product, where we just receive a small commission to represent your product. Next slide. Okay, so what are the differences between reps? Okay, in differences. Okay, so manufacturer rep, we interface with the distributor. We refer orders to distributors. We receive commissions on sales through distribution. We rely, distributors rely heavily on manufacturers' reps. We're creating the market for them. We're giving them referrals. The distributors rely on an independent rep to train their dealers, to do their warranty support. Okay. Manufactured reps do not handle competitive product lines. Distributors commonly handle 2, 3, 4 product lines. In addition to that, somebody joined on, and I'm getting some background noise. Can you mute yourself? Thank you. Other things that reps are, we're the product specialist in the marketplace. A distributor has 3,000 SKUs or 5,000 SKUs, many times up to 100,000 SKUs. Where we're focusing singular on your product. We're your advocate, and we're going to train the market and educate the market. Reps have dealer relationships. We focus on creating the market. Distributors focus on taking the order, but not necessarily creating the market. So there's a big difference to the market. Next slide, please. Myths and misconceptions. Okay. Myth number 1: a distributor can handle the whole field sales process. Distributors stock competitive brands. They cannot be one manufacturer's advocate. The reps and distributors, we work as teams. A distributor will generally sell what they have in inventory. Okay. If a dealer asks them for, product B and they have product A in their inventory, chances are they're going to take on product A when they walk out the door, okay, rather than waiting for an order to come in. Where a independent rep is going to focus on your product and not someone else's product. The myths and misconceptions here, the myth: the internet, e-commerce, make personal contact unnecessary. Can somebody put yourself on mute again, please?
Lee, if you could mute your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on a second. I thought I was on mute. Muted.
The truth is, high tech can't replace high touch. The repetitive touches in the marketplace is what's going to create the marketplace. It's going to create the demand. We're going to negotiate, on a one-on-one basis, face-to-face on your sales, figure out the solution, how we're going to handle the solution. And we're going to be able to react to the marketplace where if you're just communicating electronically, you're not necessarily going to react in a timely manner. So it's very important that the personal touch is involved. Okay. Reps don't take a long-term perspective. It would be reasonable not to, given the reality that we have a 60-day termination clause. Okay. However, reps invest in their territories. They invest in their clientele. Generally speaking, a product doesn't fly off the shelf its first year. And the first year is definitely a building foundation for a product. Second year, normally you'll see a lot more success in the second year than you will in the first year of a product launch. Not to say that you won't see success the first year. Okay, but we're developing into a long term. If you look at a manufacturing rep's portfolio, you'll see their tenure, long-term tenure within their portfolios, because they're investing in that business, making sure that your product is successful over a long period of time. The last thing we want to do is, take something to the market and get a quick hit on it and walk away from it. There's no value or little value to a rep to do that. Okay, let's talk about the economics, okay, of what it takes to. The average salary of a rep is $50,000. Now, let's just clarify one thing. In today's world, hiring a sales rep and paying them $50,000 is very difficult to do in many regions of the country. Okay, we're using $50,000 as for quick math as we go through here. The average salary you'll find is significantly higher for a good sales rep in the marketplace. Based on a 5% commission, the sales to cover a $50,000 salary is going to cost you $1 million in sales. Okay. However, there's more than that. There's hidden costs that are involved in this. Okay. Right. And so the next slide, the real economics of a $50,000 salary that we're really not seeing is the training, the automobiles, the hotels, the expenses, the vacation, the medical, the 401k, their home office, the computers, the software that you're using, the cell phones, Social Security, the taxes, liability insurance, workman's comp, entertainment costs. A lot of that $50,000 salary quickly and easily turns into $125,000 or $2.5 million in sales to cover that at a 5%. Again, I'll go back to the $50,000 salary. It's hard to find a rep to work for $50,000. Okay, so in true math on this, it costs closer to probably to $3 million in sales in today's world for us to hire a sales rep in the marketplace. Next slide, Lorna. Okay, so let's discuss a territory. If you brought in a salesperson, okay, and again you were paying them the $50,000 salary, $125,000 with expenses, okay, and if you're covering a large geographic region, okay, your expenses will skyrocket even more, and you won't be able to penetrate the market very strongly as well. So more manufacturers, more salespeople on the street is going to be necessary. So if you had the first rep out there at 50,000, the second rep out there at 25,000, another rep out there at 12,500. Okay, the reality is that your overall sales, okay, are significantly less because the manufacturer rep we're using economy of shared expenses over our portfolio. Okay, but for you to do that, your sales will have to skyrocket as a result of that. Okay, contract agreements. Length of agreement. From as a general statement, our contracts are year to year with an option to end. That'll vary. Our contracts generally renew year after year automatically unless one party is not satisfied. The contracts include an exclusive territory. An exclusive partnership with us is meaning that once you sign us on with to represent your product in the territory, you don't have another rep in the marketplace that we're competing against. Oftentimes, a manufacturer rep organization, we will work with the manufacturer, and the manufacturer may have a regional manager to work with 6 or 7 of our reps, okay, in a geographic region. But we're still the exclusive rep in the marketplace. We generally work straight commission, okay, so it's a fixed cost of goods, and we get paid depending on your system. We generally get paid when it's invoiced or it's delivered, or when you receive payment of the product. Again, that's based on your manufacturer processes and how your accounting department works. Next slide. Leading indicators of skilled rep firms. We are professional organizations, and like any professional organization, having strategic goals into territory plans and action plans is what allows us to create successes, just like most leading companies today. A leading manufacturer rep group will have strong relationships in the marketplace. We're able to share the knowledge in the marketplace, which is a key component to this to give you insight to allow us to succeed. Again, we're technology current. We have the CRMs, the marketing automations, the social media, the mobile contacts. We're very active in industry associations that allows us to stay in front of people, it allows us to network and meet people, discover new opportunities. We have pre-planning meetings and outline our targets, and we share that information with the manufacturers. We'll work together hand in hand on how we're going to create our action plan, make sure we're success on a year-to-year basis. Okay. Sales 101, without action, nothing happens. Okay. We take the action and we multiply it by frequency. Okay. Multiple touches over, short periods of time. It's going to equal our success. Okay. Next one. Next. Okay. Yeah. So action times frequency times our success. Okay. Some of the things that we have to do is we have to deal with the competition. We have the competitive pricing, the programs, the preparation. We have to execute. Okay. The frequency is the multiple exposure. Again, dealing with the competition, making sure the inventory is proper, getting the reorders, maintaining the relationships for the rep group as well as the manufacturer. And then ultimately our success is getting those orders and the reorders, okay, and the continual growth over time. What do sales reps need to help grow your business? It's very important that you assist us. You don't hire a sales rep firm and say, go jump in the pool. What we need to do is understand your company. We need to understand your product story, the motivation of what you had with your product, what's your inspiration. We need to be able to share that with our accounts. We need to understand your contact information, the departments, and who to contact, who to work with on a day-to-day basis. Your company procedures, territory travel. Like I said earlier, if you have a lot of times it's a national sales manager, it could be a regional sales manager working with us in the territory, helping us close a deal when necessary. We need to have a good understanding of your pricing and your programs. We don't make the decisions for you. We follow your guidelines. So having a good understanding of your programs allows us an outline to follow through with. Samples and literature. Again, your history, the marketing story, reports. Reports is crucial for us. If we're going to manage an account, having a monthly report, a quarterly report, a yearly report, especially a comparison reports, allows us to manage the accounts. A lot of times when we look at the reports, we look at what's missing, not necessarily what's on the report, because if something happened and we didn't know about it, having that timely report will allow us to save that deal. Okay. Copies of the invoices. It helps us to know when we get those. A lot of times we'll go in there and the distributor or dealer say, yes, we're going to buy that. We're going to place the order with the distributor. And then that doesn't happen. And if we have the copies of the invoices, we'll know that we can follow up with them much faster. That's fine. More information sources of where you can find more information about reps. You could go to the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance, phta.org. Other sources is the Manufacturer Representative Educational Research Foundation, as well as the Manufacturing Agents National Association, manonline.org is where you'll find more information about manufacturer reps. And then lastly, I will, before we go to Q&A, again, we want to invite you to our breakfast networking event. It's Wednesday, November 6th, 8:30 to 10 o'clock, room 348, 349 at the New Orleans Convention Center. Continental breakfast will be served. You will be able to, at this meeting, we'll have representatives from all regions in the country on hand. So you'll be able to, it's a place where you could come and meet an independent rep and have start those discussions to build that relationship that you're going to have in the future. So we definitely welcome and encourage you to come. Bring a friend. We'll open it up for Q&A.